Alex here with another review, and this time we're taking a look at the THINKSCAN 672, which is an advanced obd-II bidirectional scanner which has the ability to access service functions, activating components, programming, live data, and more. And on this video, I'm going to show you what you get with this unit, as well as walk you through the features of it, including the vehicle coverage list. That way you can confirm if your vehicle is supported by this scanner. And as always, I'd like to remind you that I place a link in the description down below to this little guy in case you want to get one for yourself. And the 672 scanner comes with the semi-rigid case, and inside of that case we get the scanner, instruction manual, and several accessories. Taking a closer look at the scanner, first off we get a 7-inch screen, and also notice that there is rubberization on both the left side and the right side, which is good for drop protection. Now there is no protection on the bottom or on the top, so you do want to be aware of that. However, I do like that both sides do provide you with a nice firm grip on the scanner. And that bottom and top edge are metal, which appears to be aluminum, and this gives the 672 a nice premium feel to it. We also have this fairly large power button, the connection for the DLC, and we also get a full-size USB port and USB-C. Moving to the back of the unit, we get an integrated kickstand, and it is made out of metal, so it does feel nice and sturdy, and it also has rubberization in the bottom. Also notice that the kickstand can actually open up quite a bit. Moving over to the accessories, we get the charger, which does have replaceable faceplates. That way you can use this in different parts of the world. Additionally, they have included the USB-C cable and also the OBD cable. And we'll begin with the auto search function, which is going to be probably the easiest way to diagnose a vehicle because it runs automatic VIN detection, which allows the scanner to identify the vehicle that you're working with. And you're given three choices: to run a full health report, select individual systems, or take a look at the vehicle information. Let's begin with a full health report. And here's the results of the test. 31 systems were scanned and a total of 7 DTCs were found. 4 of them were found with the TPMS system, 1 of them was found under the combination meter, 1 under power source control, and another under navigation system. The rest of the systems tested out okay, as indicated by the green check mark. Now at this point, you can choose to clear all the error codes, which will get rid of that check engine light, but you would not want to do this if the vehicle has not been fixed. You could also use the report function to create a report of the issues that were found, but the most interesting part is that you can tap on each one of those DTCs, and that is going to take you straight to Google, so it can find out the details for that and potentially if somebody already found a fix for it or not. And I briefly want to show you what that report looks like. You can see on here that it describes the system that it tested and the ones that passed and the ones that didn't pass, and also the details of what were found for each one that had an issue with them. And finally, you are able to print this report, create a PDF out of it, or share it. You can also go inside of each individual system. First off, notice that it gives you a description of what that system is, and once you're inside of there, you have several options, including reading the codes again, clearing the codes from that system, or looking at freeze frame data, looking at live data from that system, or the actuation test. And if you did not need a full health report, you can go into system selection, and then you can test the individual systems, such as in powertrain, we get ECM, RCC, and TCM for this particular vehicle. Under chassis, again, this vehicle has several modules on it, and this is going to vary from vehicle to vehicle. Some vehicles, especially the newer they are, the more systems that they're going to have built in onto them. But let's go inside one of the systems. I'm going to go inside of powertrain. Let's take a look at ECM. Again, it gives you a description of what that system does. And let's take a look at actuation test. Again, because this is a bi-directional scanner, it could potentially allow us to control different things on the vehicle, which can be especially helpful if you are testing a particular component or system. Let's move over to live data by using the read data stream option. And as you can see, that list can be quite extensive, especially again on your vehicles that have a lot more sensors to grasp graph from. And let's go ahead and select all of them using that select all option, and I'm gonna hit OK. And as you can see on here, we get the value and we get the description of the different things that are coming from the vehicle. And this is a good parameter to look at as far as responsiveness. Engine speed, you can see that that is in RPMs right there, and I'm gonna go ahead and give it some gas. Now, in addition to seeing it in this way, you could change it to a graphical form. And again, I'm gonna give it some gas so we can see what that looks like. And you can also combine up to 4 parameters in one screen. I'm gonna go ahead and select coolant temperature, and let's select fuel pressure and intake temperature. And you can see all 4 of them being graphed together, each one individually coded. I'm gonna give it some gas so we can see them move. You could also use the graph icon to see 4 parameters graphed at the same time. Now, you could choose which parameters you want using this little arrow. You can have up to 4 of them at the same time on the screen in this graphical form. So for example, if I wanted to see that one, I'm gonna deselect that one, select the one that I want, and now we can see those parameters that I'm interested on. The data can also be recorded using the record function. And if you just wanted to sample the data, you could do that with the save sample option. I'm gonna select what the vehicle is doing, hit OK, and then we are now sampling data. Now, what does that look like in the end? I'm gonna hit stop right here. You can see on here the results of the sampling, including the minimum values and maximum values that were obtained. And if you did not want to use the AutoVin function, you could do a manual diagnosis where you will select what vehicle make you're working with. Now, this is a good opportunity to take a look at what makes are included with the scanner. I'm gonna scroll down through this list. That way you can see if your vehicle make is included as far as coverage. And because the list of makes can be quite extensive, you could sort that out by American makes, European, Asian, or Chinese make. And if you were looking for standard OBD2 diagnostics, that is done with this next icon. And under OBD2 Diagnostics, we get the following choices to check the emissions readiness of the vehicle. And this is gonna be important if you live somewhere where emissions is something that they're checking for as far as your vehicle. You can also, again, access live data. But remember, this live data is gonna be not as extensive as the other one that I showed you earlier, because this is just standard OBD2 parameters. OEM live data is gonna be in the full diagnostic option that I showed you earlier. And there's a couple more things towards the bottom of the screen, including the test results of the onboard monitoring test. You can see in here the item and the value, in this case, okay. But also if I tap that, it gives me additional information such as the actual test value. There's also this drop-down menu on the left-hand side, but these are really just shortcuts to the different things that the scanner can do. Instead of going to the large icons with the full description, you can just go on here and tap the icon to take you to that function directly. Also notice that you do have the current battery voltage of the vehicle indicated in the upper part of the screen, and also that the scanner is currently charging. This is one big advantage of scanners that connect to the vehicle directly with a cable, is you don't have to worry about making sure that the scanner has a battery charge, because the scanner is pulling the power directly from the vehicle and also charging at the same time. Moving over to the last 3 icons under Diagnose. This one right here contains the history of the vehicles that were tested with the unit, and here you can see the reports that you created, and also you can submit feedback in case you had an issue with the scanner. Moving over to the maintenance tab, here's where you find the service functions for the scanner, and you can see a description of what it is. This is the air fuel ratio reset, ABS bleeding, AD blue reset, and I'll keep going through this list. That way you can see if the service function that you are looking for is included in the scanner. Now there is another way to display the service function, and that is done with this icon in case you wanted to see all of them in one screen. Moving over to updates, there are two types: vehicle diagnostic software updates and also maintenance software updates. Now both of them are included for free. There is no subscription required. Now let me show you how that looks. As you can see on here, this is the updates that are currently available, and you can scroll through this list if you wanted to see which ones are available for vehicle software, or you could also tap on this side and see which ones are available for maintenance. Also notice that if you do already have the latest version, you can see that it is going to indicate that on there. Now you could selectively download individual updates one by one, or only the ones that you need, but I actually like to update all my software at the same time with the upgrade button, which is going to download all the updates for me automatically. Moving over to more, here's where you'll find settings and also tech support. There is also an electronic version of the manual built in onto the scanner, and I always find this convenient, especially if you don't have a copy of the manual with you. You can always reference it through there, and also the OBD fault code library. Now this is also helpful if you have a code but you don't have access to the vehicle. You can put in the DTC, you can search for it and see what the DTC is for. And also under module, there are several upgrades available for this scanner, such as a TPMS1, video scope, oscilloscope, printer, and a Bluetooth battery tester. And under the next one, gadget, this is a shortcut to the internet browser. And I'll find a video so we can test both the audio and video capabilities of this device. And here is a YouTube video. Let's take a look at how this looks and sounds.
At the ThinkSCAN 689BT, which is an advanced OBD2 bi-directional scanner, which has the ability to access service functions, programming,
and the next icon gives you access to remote assistance, in case you wanted to let a technician remotely connect to your tablet. But let's go inside of the settings, and here's where you can adjust a couple things. You can enable photo album and screen recorder. Now these are floating icons that you can position anywhere you want on the screen, and what this one allows you to do is takes a screenshot. This guy right here, which is the screen recorder, basically allows you to record the screen, and this guy right here is a shortcut to customer service. Moving over to user, here's where you can create a database of the customers that you deal with, and also include your business information if you wanted this to be populated on the reports. Under universal, you'll find brightness adjustments, volume adjustments, and also languages, and I'll scroll through here so you can see which ones are included. The unit of measure can also be changed from imperial to metric, and also if you don't care for this customer service icon, that can be turned off right here. And the last thing that I'll show you is that there is a drop down menu where you have quick access to the Wi-Fi, screenshot, screen recorder, orientation, customer service, and also adjustment of the brightness and adjustment of the volume. So I really think this is going to be a good choice for somebody who's looking for an affordable bi-directional scanner that's packed with a ton of features and also does not require a subscription service. You'll be surprised at the number of scanners that I have reviewed that require a subscription, and that cost can add up over time, and here they're included for free. Now if you do want a larger screen, there is a larger version of this that also includes a wireless dongle. I have already reviewed that on the channel. That's the 689BT. If you guys want to see that review, I'll put that in the description down below. But honestly, I think all the features that I saw on the 689BT are pretty much found on the 672. So if you don't really care for having a larger screen, and if you don't really need that wireless dongle capability, I think you could save a little money and just get the 672. I particularly am a fan of corded scanners just because sometimes I forget to recharge my unit, and if I have a fully wireless scanner, and if I didn't charge the battery, now I'm out of luck. And when you have a cord that connects it directly to the vehicle, now I'm pulling power from the vehicle. And I personally don't really walk around my vehicle activating components remotely and looking at live data remotely. Now it is convenient to be able to do that, but I personally don't do it. And that's kind of the reason why I think a wireless scanner may not always be needed. Now I do have a small nitpick about scanners that have a cord, and that is the cases that come with it. And this is something that I'm seeing a trend on. So this is pretty much across all brands. When there is a cord, you are normally required to remove that cord in order for you to be able to put the scanner into the case. Not a deal breaker, but definitely to me, it's an inconvenience. But like I said, I'm seeing this in pretty much all the brands of scanners, and I really hope one of them is gonna say, let's make a case that can accommodate the scanner if it's corded with the cord. That way we don't have to separate the cord. Now, again, this is not an issue for people who have wireless scanners, and if you are willing to pay that extra premium price for it, you might want to consider that 689BT. Remember, I put a link to that in the description down below, along with a link to the 672 scanner in case you want to look at it further. And if you guys have any other questions regarding this, please put that in the comments down below. If you found any part of this video helpful, make sure you hit the like button to support the channel, and stay tuned as I have a lot more scanner reviews coming up. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.